Narendra Modi was at COP26 in Glasgow and announced India will be net zero by 2070. Net zero means that greenhouse gases released into the atmosphere will be offset equally by a huge array of green-based solutions, like planting more trees. Ask any serious environmentalist and you will discover net zero is a huge con. What net zero is saying is that the rich will continue cutting down ancient species of trees, old forests and biodiverse areas and replace it all with plantations of trees, identical to each other. It means continuing to mine for fossil fuels, burning oil and gas, and then offsetting those greenhouse gases by throwing indigenous people off their lands who are then forced to migrate and survive on poverty wages with government blessings. The government then turned their land into conservation zones blessed by the WWF and its panda. This is not an ethical, moral, or responsible climate strategy at all. It is a strategy cooked by neoliberal capitalism because it keeps the profits coming in at a huge cost to not only the environment, but people whose lives perish every day in the global south. We in South Asia Solidarity Group stand with everyone around the world fighting against the causes of climate change, which is capitalism, born through colonialism and imperialism of the last 500 years. To make such an unethical, unsustainable, exploitative and murderous economic system work, governments and corporations globally must always manufacture racism and division through violence and authoritarianism. Under Narendra Modi, the BJP government is turning India into an authoritarian Hindutva corporate state. All dissenters are targeted and human rights are trashed. Scholars, journalists and academics are gunned down by BJP-affiliated gangs. Human rights activists are thrown in jail for sedition and left to die there. Adivasis, or indigenous people, are being tortured and raped and imprisoned by police and militias for trying to defend their forests from mining companies. Farmers are being run over and murdered by government officials for protesting the corporate takeover of India's food supply chain. Muslims are being regularly lynched by Hindutva groups and are being targeted in laws which disenfranchises them and are a prelude to ethnic cleansing. We stand with Adivasis, Dalits, farmers, Muslims, refugees and migrants, and other workers and minorities being demonized, attacked, thrown in jail, murdered and lynched. We stand with the Kashmiri people against occupation and militarization. We stand with everyone in the fight to protect their lands from corporates and governments who fuel religious and race wars in attempts to weaken us with divide and rule. During the pandemic last year, the number of billionaires went up as they continued to suck wealth upwards under this financialized casino economic system that commoditizes every conceivable part of life. During the last year alone, the number of billionaires in India went up by almost 50%, and their wealth nearly doubled to $750 billion. It confirms what we already know. Capitalism causes inequality, but also entrenches power into a few hands who dominate politics and policies. With wealth comes political power, which in India, under Modi, presents as an authoritarian, fascist state, embracing neoliberal capitalism, including fossil fuel financing from British banks. They push for more growth through more production output and consumption. They are driven to fossil fuels because the margins are greatest there. To get the fossil fuel, they must violently and murderously throw indigenous communities off their land. Globally, we are being dispossessed to allow for the unimaginable accumulation of wealth and power, where trillions and trillions of dollars end up in government-sanctioned tax havens. Climate change, like poverty and inequality, are political projects, reversible by mass movements. An important part of our resistance is to come together and fight for revolutionary reparations, and to not give in to liberal reformist solutions like net zero, green growth, or green consumption, as this means more capitalism, imperialism, and colonialism. There is no ethical production or consumption under capitalism. We must fight for reparations to heal from the collective trauma of 500 years of enslavement, colonialism, and imperialism. We are fighting to grow a movement that says no to all militaries, a huge emitter of greenhouse gases, so we can build a more peaceful and sustainable world. We are fighting for reparations for the kidnapping, enslavement, and murder of African people and cultures whose blood built all of today's wealth under capitalism. We are fighting for reparations for colonialism and imperialism, for the genocides, famines, and theft of land and resources that are now under private ownership. We are demanding reparations to dismantle the laws, institutions, and apparatus that give capitalism its powers. Land is a fixed resource that we must all equally share and take responsibility for. It can never be bought by the richest among us. Land should be a collective. Land must be custodial. Land must be shared responsibility for us to look after and nurture and gift to future generations in a healthier state than we inherited it in. Climate change is caused by capitalism they enforce through violent imperialism and neo-colonialism, where police fire bullets on us and tanks roll into our streets and into our ancient forests. Put another way, climate change is caused by the guys with the money printing machines that they themselves made legal because they had the guns that they held to our heads. We must remember, reparations is about power, getting power out of the hands of corporations and fascist governments. The fight for climate reparations is the fight to kill the causes of climate change and create true democracies and peace by the people, for the people. South Asia Solidarity Group stands with everyone fighting for revolutionary climate reparations and justice.